What's up? What's up? What's up, guys? Welcome back to Two in the Zone. We have the one and only. He's a black screen right now, but I promise you, he is there. The goat, dead press picks. There he is. And then you have myself, AC. Thank you guys for jumping on Two in the Zone. We do this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I was traveling yesterday, so we moved it to today. So this week will be Tuesday, tomorrow, and Friday. Don't forget, Friday we have a huge Super Bowl show as well. We're going to try to get Joe's and Ricky Bobby's picks on that show. So the four of us will be previewing the show on Friday for Super Bowl Sunday. I do want to give out a quick shout out to our friends at 7 Stack Sports. He's doing a quick Super Bowl promo right now, right there on the screen. 200% free play bonus plus 100% risk free on your first bet. This is for all new customers. 200% free play bonus rollover is 10 times. Please take advantage of this. Super Bowl Sunday is coming up, and they have the best shows, the best lines, minus 105 on any of those lines. They'll have all the props that you're looking for, as well as the game action. We did lose Dead for a little bit, but I can speak while he tries to get on. I'll do a quick recap of last night's games. Here at ACVIP, we did go 2-0 in the NBA. Thankfully, we were on the OKC Thunder team total points under, and that cashed by the hook. And then we were on the Utah Jazz team total over, and that also cashed by the hook. So I was very, very fortunate last night. Dad, how about you? How was last night's games for you?
Yeah, what's up, man? Sorry about the connection issues. My laptop just decided
No worries, bro.
not work today, so going to be operating from the phone. So apologize for the audio as well. But yeah, happy to hear you had a couple hook wins. I had a really lucky win last night, AC, on the Chicago Bulls. So
oh my gosh, they ended like 12-0, right?
Yeah, I feel lucky. I think Malcolm Hill turned into Jordan in the last couple minutes there. So got the cover. I was also on the Hornets. That was my article play yesterday. Unfortunately, that did not come through. But all in all, the NBA's been real hot the last couple weeks. So not too upset with the 1-1 result. Now excited to get back to it tonight. We also have so many trades. I wanted to talk about with you today, kind of get your thoughts on really even the last couple of days, right? Not even just today, but Sabonis was moved, McCollum was moved, some of the hot names. Now the Harden-Simmons deal, I'm hoping something gets done. That seems to, be heating up. So a lot to get into on this episode today.
Yes, a lot. And you're right. We're both really hot with our free plays as well as VIP plays. You and I have a kind of different unit scale. I'm on 1 to 3. But after seven days, we're up over 24 units. So everything's rolling there. Mm-hmm. I know you're on fire. You're giving a ton of free plays out and article plays. So it's really, really, really exciting. Let's go through some of last night's games. Just one more here. So we talked about the Suns, Bulls. I hit the Thunder under, the Jazz over. But pretty surprising result here was Heat Wizards last night. Dead Heat won by 21 points against the Wizards without Tyler Hero. We both love this Miami team, especially coming playoff time. I think they're a contender in the East, man. What about you?
Yeah, I mean they're my favorite still in the East to come out of the East. I like the experience they have, right? I said they have championship DNA on that team, right? Kyle Lowry with the championship, PJ Tucker with the championship. Jimmy Butler hasn't won one yet, but he was able to, will them to a finals matchup in the bubble with really not a great Heat team at that point. So I like this team. Udonis Haslem, I don't even know how many rings he's got. I think he's still on the team somewhere. So they have a good culture there. Obviously, Eric Spoelstra, tremendous coach, winning coach. So I just like the buildup of this team. But, the Wizards, I remember, thinking back a couple months ago when we were talking about the show.
Start off so hot.
Yeah, complimenting Wes Unseld Jr., unbelievable job. Well, he was doing a great job, but, it just hasn't worked lately. Bradley Beal is not having a great year. He's been hurt. Just not working right now in Washington. So kind of they've came back to life, but they've also really crashed quick. Yeah. So not shocked by the result there.
I think there's a potential trade looming too with the Washington Wizards, but let's get into some of today's trades. The first The first one I want to get into is the most recent one, Dead. I ran a poll on my account. 77% believe that the Pacers won this, but I'll let you decide. Okay, so the Kings got Sabonis, Jeremy Lamb, and Justin Holiday, as well as a 2027 second round pick. And then the Pacers got Tyrese Halliburton, who I'm personally really high on, Buddy Hield, one of the top 3-point shooters in the league, and also Tristan Thompson. He's back east. So who do you think won that trade? Why do you think those teams made those moves? And any other thoughts?
Well, yeah, I thought it was a little bit of an odd trade, right? Because I think they're
Yeah.
both in somewhat of a similar situation where they're looking to kind of rebuild. Essentially, they're both looking for a fresh start. I like the pairing that the Kings now have with Fox and Sabonis when healthy. I think that can be good. I don't think either team got significantly better. Um, I would say the Pacers have more upside to it because of the inexperience with Halliburton. I think he can be a really good player. I think Hield's a bit, underrated in the regard of he was just in a bad situation in
Yeah.
Sacramento, right? So I would actually say the Pacers win this deal. I think they get a little bit more overall back. I know Sabonis is a great player, but long term, I think the Pacers win it. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm really high on Tyrese Halliburton. They already made a Karis LeVert trade yesterday or a couple of days ago. So, they're looking towards the future. So they acquired some picks. They acquired young players today in Tyrese. I think Buddy Hield might be a buyout candidate. I mean, he's a solid guy, but I think he probably wants to join a contender. So they're going to save more money that way. So I agree with the people voting, and then as you as well. I think the Pacers won that trade. And I mean, Sabonis as of today is the best player of that deal. But I mean, what
Right.
does that get you in Sacramento? Does that get you in a play-in game at the
No.
very most? Like, I mean, even if they get in a play-in game, does that mean they win and get into the playoffs? Like, I think the answer is no, right? So
Yeah.
I don't think they're good enough.
Yeah. If I was the Kings, I'd rather project out with Halliburton than what is Sabonis going to get you is
Yeah.
the question. I think I agree. I don't think I would have done it. The trade I want to talk about what was the Blazers deal, AC, right, with
I,
McCollum.
I think for the longest time, Dead, like when you talk about the worst GMs in the league, right? You talk about like Sacramento,
Yeah.
Orlando. Dude, I think Portland's up there now, man. We've
Uh,
had some terrible moves by the Portland front office the last couple years.
Yeah, I mean the thing is first Dame, right? Because being here in Philadelphia, that was a hot spot. A lot of people thought Dame would maybe come here, sign here, trade, whatever. He wants to stay loyal to Portland, and I respect that. Giannis did it with Milwaukee. He wins a chip. He'll win more chips. But the issue is Dame here is kind of the one getting screwed, right? Like who,
Yeah.
what's he? And I was listening. They're like, oh, they could bring in some big free agent. First of all, if you look at the free agents, there's not that many really good ones this summer, right?
Yeah.
And who the hell's going to Portland to play? Like, I don't know how they would get something done. If I'm Dame at this point, man, I'm saying I want out. But I don't know. I mean, they might just blow the whole thing up. Um, if I'm a Pelicans fan, though, I'm excited because I think this is a playoff team now in the Pelicans. I think at the bottom of the West, I think they'll definitely get into a play-in game because they're like a game and a half out right now and they stink. But assuming Zion gets back, right? McCollum steps in the lineup. You have
Yep.
Valanciunas, who's a really good, big, really underrated guy, and then Brandon Ingram, right? Like they didn't give up much. What did they? Josh Hart was the centerpiece of this deal. Like they didn't give
Yeah,
up really
I'll
anything.
give you the full deal. So the Pelicans acquired CJ McCollum, Larry Nance, and Tony Snell, basically three guys in your rotation, including a starter in CJ McCollum. Portland acquires Josh Hart, who's solid, but he's not going to be starter anywhere. Thomas Satoransky, Nikhil Walker Alexander, who is still young. There's still some potential there. I think they're trying to build around Anthony Simons.
Yeah,
Maybe they keep Dame, but I think Nikhil Alexander Walker is big. And then a first round pick and future 2 second round picks. I mean, I think Portland needs to blow it up, man. And they're trying to, and they're failing at blowing it up. Like they're
yeah.
trading all these good starters away, but they're barely getting anything in return, in my
Well, yeah.
opinion.
You go back to the Norman Powell, Robert Covington deal too, right? We
Yeah.
didn't really address that. Like Powell's a really good player. He's a top three scorer on a team, right?
Yep.
Covington's a 3-and-D guy. He hasn't shot the ball as good, but I don't know. I mean, but like they're getting back, yeah, like veteran guys. Nikhil Walker-Alexander, maybe he's good. Josh Hart's a good role player, but they're not getting anyone that's gonna make them better young. It's not like they're getting a Halliburton type of guy, right?
Yeah.
That that they can maybe build around. So yeah, for me, I think the big loser of the season has been the Trailblazers. I don't know what the hell they're doing.
In more ways than one, right? On the court and off the court. Like,
Yes, they are.
yeah, who knows? All right, so Dad, go ahead and share one more time. I'm gonna get into tonight's big bets as well as shouting out 7 stacks. So, guys, thank you so much again for jumping on Two in the Zone. We do this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday to get into the the NBA slate. Give 7 stacks a follow. They are our sponsor. Without them, none of this is possible, but please, please give him a follow. He is also running an amazing Super Bowl promo right there on the screen.
Woo.
200% free play plus 100% risk free on your first bet. I think that's up to $500. Again, that's 200% free play bonus. Rollover is 10 times. Get set up with them and then get a free card from myself and Dad. I mean, it's a win-win situation. All right, let's get into tonight's slate real quick. Let me pull that up. So the first game tonight, Dad, a lot of moving pieces, right? Because there's a lot of trades. But first one I want to get into is the Suns and your Sixers. I think you and I lean the Sixers today. The Suns are the public road underdog there, which we both hate in terms of handicapping. Sixers had a great win in Chicago on February 6th, 119-108. And Embiid is playing like the MVP. So I like the Sixers here. What do you think?
Yeah, man, I'm all over Philly tonight. Let's just diagnose this game a little bit, right? The Suns here on an extended road trip. It's their final game on the road, and it's a back-to-back. So from those aspects, you have to like Philadelphia in this spot. Philly played against Chicago on Sunday, so they get a little bit more rest here. And a lot's going on right now. Let me tell you, here being close to Philly and as a Sixer fan, I mean, everyone I know right now is on the edge of their seat, kind of awaiting a possible deal for James Harden. I've been watching ESPN. It's all over the news. It seems like it's kind of getting closer to being done. But the thing is handicapping a game, right? You want to make sure these guys stay in the lineup because if something gets done tonight, it sounds like Seth Curry is going to be involved in the deal potentially. It sounds like they're working on 3-way deals that would get Tobias Harris involved, kind of getting rid of his max contract. Matisse Thybulle's been a name that's been thrown around, right? So you want to make sure they're going. So assume Philly's fully loaded tonight. I think they get it done at home. Funny thing with them is they haven't been as good at home this year as they have in the past few seasons, but this is a tough spot for the Suns. The line's telling the tale to me. The Suns, as much as I love my Sixers, they are a much better team than Philadelphia. Yeah. The fact that this line is where it is, I think it's telling us a story. So give me the Sixers to get it done here.
Yeah, just a couple of numbers to back it up. The Suns are on fire right now, 13-1 in the last 14 games. They're 6-2 against the spread in their last 8 games on the road. They've won 10 out of 11 on the road. Like, this is by far the best team in the league. Sixers, honestly, not far behind. They've been playing really well with Joel Embiid, kind of catapulting himself into like the front runner of the MVP discussion. But they're 16-5 last 21 games. And that's without their second best player in Ben Simmons. So you expect them to kind of continue to roll. Maybe there's going to be some adjustment period if they make a trade tonight or tomorrow. But I do like the Sixers tonight. All right, another big kind of East Coast matchup here. Boston, Brooklyn. Boston is an 8.5-point favorite against the Nets. There's no KD, there's no Kyrie, and there's no James Harden. Does this seem a little too easy for you to back the Celtics here, Ted?
It does, but I'm going to give a prop here. I think Cam Thomas will have a chance to go crazy tonight. When you watch this kid in Baton Rouge, right, at LSU, he could just go. I mean, he's a gifted scorer. So a prop here aside, I mean, look, the Nets are bad without these 3 guys. Their bench is awful. They don't have a lot of depth on that team at all. So, no, I don't think 8.5 is too many. I do think the Celtics can pull away in this game. Interesting thing also talking about this Harden deal. A lot of people saying, even a Nets reporter was saying that they don't really believe that it's as much injury related that he's
Oh
staying out.
yeah, that he was pulled out.
Yeah, with this hamstring. So I think something's going to go down. AC, tell you the truth. Again, could that involve other nets? I don't think so. But we'll see how it goes. I don't think 6.5 is too many points, though. I think Cam Thomas props are good for this.
Yeah, I mean there are connections there, right? Like Philly with Daryl Morey has worked with Harden for the majority of his career. Morey and Harden have a really good relationship, so I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of push that trade through. Harden and Embiid would be really fun to watch, to be honest. Okay, next game here. We talked about the Pacers. They made a big move today, so they are kind of short on players tonight. They're traveling to Atlanta. They are getting 12.5 points. The Hawks are 12.5 point favorites at home against the Pacers. To me, it's a Hawks or nothing play, but I don't know if I can chase that type of steam, Dead. So I'm gonna lay off this one. What about you?
It's a pass for me. I mean, too many moving pieces in this game. Do want to give credit to the Hawks, right? Really turning around their season. I hope they get into a playoff game. Think this team has a lot to offer. They're a fun team to watch, right? I enjoy watching this Hawks team. So it's a layoff though for me.
All right, this next game here, Rockets, Pelicans. Pelicans again just made a lot of trades and are missing a lot of guys tonight, but they are 9.5 point favorites at home, Dead. This is like the screamer of all screamers. It's like the loudest thing I've seen all season long. Even with their guys, how would the Pelicans be 9.5 point favorites? But they are without them. What are your plans here? Because I think I have to play the Pelicans, man.
Yeah, I know a few guys are out for the Rockets, but still, that line being where it is just a lot of points. Again, though, AC, so many moving pieces in this game. You mentioned Hart, Samaranski, Nikhil, a lot of guys not obviously available because they just got traded. CJ McCollum's not just going to show up and play in this game. So for me, it's a layoff game. Again, why is the line there? I don't know. These two teams have been teams that I've actually had some success betting Rockets games. I don't know if I've bet Pelicans games. I think I've bet on them like twice all year.
And we
I think
lost,
I split them. So I don't like hate them. I don't love them. I kind of have really no feelings towards them so far in the season. I do think they'll make the postseason, though. I put that out a tweet today.
That's
earlier.
crazy.
This was a great move.
Yeah.
Assuming we get a healthy Zion, and it's so hard to tell.
That means he has to be coming back, right? They wouldn't be pushing their chips in the middle unless they felt that Zion's
and I give credit to the Pelicans, front office too for making an effort, because I think with Ingram, McCollum, Zion, and really I think you have to put Valanciunas in the category of being a top tier big man in this league.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they can make some noise. And you mentioned Larry Nance Jr. He's no slouch either that they bring over.
He's not. Yeah,
he can give them minutes. Snell's an experienced guy. So if they could really, beefing up that bench a little bit, I think the Pels are a fun team to keep an eye on.
Yeah, look for Devonte Graham props tonight, guys. I think he's going to go off at least 3-3. So if you can find a number at 2.5, I think that's a good play there. All right, next game here, we have the Clippers and the Grizzlies. Grizzlies, as you guys know, John Morant is on fire. But the Grizzlies have been playing really well. So has the Clippers, just around 500. Grizzlies, man, they won 4 out of the 5. I think they are pretty unbeatable at home, especially recently. The line right now, Dad, is at, let's see, at 8 points, 8.5 points. Who would you lean in this game?
Oof. I mean, this is a tough one for me because you kind of mentioned their play of late, but it's probably a Grizzlies spot, right? I just don't know if I can trust them with the 8.5. The Clippers, man, they just against the Bucks, we had them, right? We had the Bucks in that game, but that line made no sense. I was like, all right, the Clippers might get it done. I think Norman Powell brings a spark to this team. That was a trade also, that's interesting to me. Like, do they think Kawhi and George will be back? I know Kawhi has no shit. Like,
I think it was a trade made for next year.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a solid 5 next year.
Yeah, I like it if that's the idea. I think that there's a lot of upside to it. But for me, I think it's a Grizzlies line.
All right. Okay, next game here. So my Mavericks are hosting the really bad Detroit Pistons. Again, Mavericks rarely cover these big spreads at home, but they're 11.5 point favorites at home against the Pistons. If I had to choose here, I would actually be on the Pistons. As far as injuries are related, Chris Stapps is still out. Tim Hardaway Jr. is still out for Dallas. Maxey should be playing tonight. If Cade goes for Detroit, and he is questionable right now, Dead, I do like Detroit here in a value spot at 12.5 points. What do you think?
Yeah, again, you mentioned the status there of Kate. I think your Mavericks though blow them out here. So yeah,
Okay.
I like this line again. For these lines today are really inflated, have heavy favorites, right? So I think sometimes you're going to get people try and pick off some public dogs. 12 points, or like the Rockets getting, what are they getting, like 9 without the so sometimes these lines I think look a little too easy for a dog, even though the Pistons are really not a good team. But the Mavericks have been banged up, man. I mean, we know
Yeah.
KP's been out, Hardaway's been out. That's two of their top three scorers. Maxi Kleber's been out. He's a great shooter. Like, it's not like they've had a full team now. Reggie Bullock has really stepped into that lineup,
Yeah, he
played great.
stepped up last game for sure.
Yeah,
One
Jalen
one
played.
thing I low key wanted was I thought the Pelicans were going to be sellers because I
Mhm.
mean they haven't had a great season and Zion's been hurt all year, so I thought they were going to kind of trade some of their pieces. Obviously, that's wrong because they're all in, they're buying. But I
Yeah,
wanted Brandon Ingram to be paired with Luca. I think that would have been perfect.
that'd be fun to watch.
Yeah, because I'm very high on Ingram. Luca's been doing so great with such a like a mediocre supporting cast. So I agree with you that the Mavs have been playing really well. So props to Luca and coach Jason Kidd. All right. Knicks Nuggets. This is a game going to be in Denver. Knicks going to be missing a lot of guys tonight. Full injury report here. No Noel, no Quentin Grimes, and no Mitchell Robinson. So three of their big bench guys are going to be out. Nuggets have everyone except for Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. So to me, I think this is a Nuggets play, but it has moved about a point and a half here. I don't know how you feel about that, Dad.
Well, I think Nikola Jokic might score, 80 points in this game. The Knicks have no type of rim protection now.
No,
Noel's a great rim protector. Robinson's a pretty good rim protector. They have no one, right, who's going to be able to offer him any type of
it
resistance.
definitely
So,
can't be Julius Randle, or else he'll just be in foul trouble.
or yeah, Randall can't guard. I mean, they have no one who's going to be able to check him. Who's it going to be, like Taj Gibson? I don't know who they're gonna
Yeah,
put
nobody.
in, but I think it gets ugly here for the Knicks tonight. Looked like they might win a game last night, right? In Utah, looked like they had a good chance to win. They are such a bad closing team. I mean, they have no one. They were down 3, and it was like 2.5 left in the game. First of all, if you're the Knicks, also that's a god awful loss.
That's
Oh,
such a bad beat. I had the Jazz team total, so it was like the craziest
yeah,
win ever.
that's a good one because they just fouled like for no reason. But the down by 3, as I was saying, Evan Fournier, right? He just dribbles the ball off his foot. Like their plays were not even. It's not like they were getting like clappable misses where you're like, all right, it's a good look. It is them fault. You could live with it. Man, I mean, they were awful in that game. So down the stretch, they played a pretty good, first 3 quarters. But unfortunately for the Knicks, you have to play all 4. So uh,
Yeah.
tough loss for a Knicks backer, but fade them right now, man. I'm feeling good about my Knicks no playoff ticket. That it has been a disaster this year in New York.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys, 3 games left. Let me go ahead and do a quick shout out for our sponsor, Seven Stack Sports. Give them a follow right there on the screen. Seven Stack Sports. They are the best book on Twitter. They have -105 reduced juice lines. They do same day payouts when you're using cryptocurrency. They've been in the business for over 4 years, over 2,000 clients. So they are the best and they know what they're doing. They're offering amazing Super Bowl props as well as promos. So please DM them and get set up. All right, the last of 3 games. This is probably the game of the night. Bucks, Lakers. The Lakers are 3.5 point underdogs at home. You and I both know they don't really cover when they're favorites, but when they're dogs, it's a completely different story. Who do you like in this game, Dad?
Sorry, I lost you for a sec there. See, we're talking about the Thunder game.
No, we're talking about the Lakers Bucks here. I'll go ahead and talk about my angle here. So I actually think the Lakers keep this competitive. I don't know if they cover the 3.5 points, but my favorite play in this game, because this total is so high at 233.5, I think LeBron goes off. So look at maybe points or maybe points, assists, maybe rebounds and assists. I don't know if all 3 is enough because that PRA is always inflated when you're dealing with LeBron James, but I think he is going to do well. I think points and assists would be the way to go. I think Giannis is going to do well. I think he's going to take a lot of threes tonight to show that he can, shoot from outside. So I think over 1.5 threes is a potential for him as well. But what do you think in this game? Lakers plus 3.5 dead.
Yeah, I said the Thunder. Thunder aren't even playing the night. They say, yeah, the Knicks or the Knicks. Jesus, look at me. The Lakers. They're both so bad. I get them confused. The Lakers and the Knicks. The Lakers have been very, very, very disappointing as we know this year. But I don't know if this is statistically backed up, but I feel like anytime I take them as a dog, they come through for me. So I'm gonna take them tonight as the dog here because I think again, like the Bucks are pretty healthy outside of missing the Splash Mountain himself, Brooke Lopez. So they're getting healthier, right? Bobby Portis has been really good filling his role. Drew Holiday's back in the lineup. Chris Middleton, even their bench, like DiVincenzo's been back. I don't know Grayson Allen's exact status for this game because he did not play.
He's back tonight.
He's back tonight. So, I mean, they're full. This is their team, right? I think the Lakers get it done. This line's continued to drop. I think it opened at like 4.5. So the line's moving towards the Lakers. I do like the Lakers in this game tonight. I was just also hearing a lot of news about a potential trade with Dante DiVincenzo. So they might have a few guys, bench guys missing from this game. Looks like the Bucks are trying to move him. He hasn't had a great year after being hurt, and he's, I believe, on the last year of his contract. So keep an eye out for that as well. But give me the Lakers in this one.
All right. I think that kind of aligns with my LeBron angle there. All right. Two games left. Magic, Trailblazers. Trailblazers just had a big trade. They started out as 3.5-point favorites. Now they're 1-point dogs. I think it's a Magic read, but I don't know if it's going to be that easy, man. I do know Portland's missing a ton of guys because of their trades the last couple of days, but the Magic are still the Magic. If I had to play this game, I would actually do the Magic team total over because I don't think the Blazers are really going to be focused on defense. But what do you like in this one?
Sorry, another cutout there. You see, it's been
No
like
worries.
hell not using a laptop. The line again, though, as we've talked about so many times with this team, like, can we back them here in this spot? Minus, like, the Blazers are still a favorite, which is kind of crazy, right? Because we know, like, who's on their team tonight. I think it has to be a Magic play.
Yeah, there's no one on the Blazers, man.
Like, it's just gonna be
all the guys they
Simons and
traded
then-
for obviously are out, right? Bledsoe, Cody Zeller, Nikhil Sadaransky, Josh Hart, Keon Johnson. All those guys are out because they just
they're not playing, right?
Yeah, they have to go through some health protocols and things like that. So they really just have Anthony Simons. So is Anthony Simons enough? I guess they have Nurkic too. So two of those guys. But I don't think it's enough, even though the Magic have been really bad. They are playing a lot better, especially on offense. I could give you some numbers to back that up here. So before yesterday's game or the last game against the Celtics, they did score 115 on Memphis, 119 on the Pacers, 115 on the Bulls, 108 against the Mavericks. So they were rolling offensively before that last time out. So I don't know. I feel like it's a get right game for them. It has to be a Magic play, in my opinion. All right, let's move on to the last game here. Is the Timberwolves and the Kings. You guys know I love the Timberwolves big three offensively when it comes to Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards, as well as D'Angelo Russell. The Kings just made trades, right? So there's no De'Aaron Fox. He was already out before the trade. Bagley, I believe, is questionable. They're going to miss Halliburton. They're going to miss the rest of their guys today. So I think the Kings roll in this. I think the Timberwolves roll the Kings in this. They are 7-point road favorites against the Sacramento Kings. Dad, how do you feel about this last game tonight?
Yeah, I honestly think the line's a little odd. I think they should be a double-digit favorite here. But it's probably stay away. I'm trying to stay away from all the teams that just made trades today, right?
True.
Because, so many moving pieces. There's a lot of action. So I probably will not have any action in this T-Wolves Kings game tonight.
All right, guys, that completes our show. Again, welcome, and thank you so much for joining today on Two in the Zone. Dad, any final thoughts or words before we end the show?
Well, I said we have to give our best play of the night, AC. So for you, okay. What's your favorite NBA play tonight?
I think it's a LeBron prop. Okay. I think LeBron gets up for these type of games. Giannis, KD, Steph Curry. Like he still wants to show that he's the king and the best player in the league. So I think LeBron points and assists would be my favorite prop.
All right. I'll stay there in that same game. I'm going to say the Lakers plus 3.5. So I hope they get it done for us as a dog tonight. But I think the line, maybe the Lakers. This could be my call to the Lakers. They see like it did for the Hawks. It's their start of a turnaround. So
Okay.
let's start it tonight.
Both teams are gonna use the Bucks, huh, to turn
That's what I
around. I
mean. You
love
got to
it.
beat the best, right? You got to beat
Yeah,
the king to get confidence.
I love it. I love it. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Good luck on your bets tonight. Everyone have a good one.